Welcome to All Things Cardio-Oncology. My name is Steve Caselli. I'm the Executive Director of ICOS. On November 10th and 11th, a number of ICOS friends and colleagues attended the American Heart Association in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And there we had an opportunity to speak with them about how the AHA was addressing cardio-oncology at the meeting this year. There might be some background noise in these episodes because we're recording live in the hall, but other than that, I know you're going to enjoy these episodes, so thanks for joining us. So we're at the American Heart Association meeting in Philadelphia, and I'm here with my friends Dan Lenahan and Joe Carver, and we were happy to talk with Joe a little bit about the Cardio-Oncology Journal today.
Hi, I'm Joe Carver. I'm the Executive Director of ICOS. I want to thank our sponsors for this webinar.
Well played, Joe.
No, so we're excited to be in Philadelphia, which is of course Joe's hometown. So he gets to tell us all the secret in and outs of getting around in Philadelphia. But maybe he'll tell us about that later. But one thing that we've been wondering about is, how do you see the journal Cardio-Oncology continuing to influence the field? And I think that the amount of influence that has happened in the last few years has really been rising dramatically. So I don't know, what do you have to say about that journal?
Yes, so the Cardio-Oncology Journal was actually the first dedicated cardio-oncology journal. We're, I guess, in our 8th or 9th year. It's taken a long time to really get a foothold. We're PubMed listed, and we do have an impact factor. And the number of manuscripts that we receive increases yearly to, I would say, about 150 to 200 manuscripts a year.
Wow, that's really impressive. And I know that, this is definitely something that you started from scratch. And I know that you've had other people that have helped you, but I know that the yeoman's part of the work came from you. But I think your other colleagues that are great friends of ours are Steve Lipschutz and Giorgio Menotti.
Yeah, so the three of us actually came up with the idea at an MD Anderson Heart Cancer in the Heart program. We sat in the back room and talked about it, and it really only happened because of Steve. Because Steve had connections with the publisher and took the lead and made it happen. So he's the editor-in-chief. Giorgio and I are the deputy editors. The reality is that, as Dan said, from the standpoint of like the workhorse, for some reason I get most of the work, but Steve's the editor-in-chief, and his standing in the world of pediatrics and cardio-oncology has really been a major effort, major benefit. And it, Dan knows that we had a period where the publisher wanted to close us down. I mean, it was, we were getting not that many manuscripts, and they didn't think it was viable. And Steve really went to bat to make it happen. So, but now we are expanding, and it's thriving, and it's not going to go away.
No, and I've been really impressed. Steve has been sending out the highlights of the different publications in the journal roughly about every quarter, it seems, and the quality and significance of the publications have just risen dramatically. It seems to me in the last year or two has really changed quite a bit. Is that what you think? Or
yeah, so sometimes I read a manuscript and I go like, why did they send it here? It could have gone to like not a real journal, but like a high impact journal. So yeah, I think that we've developed a niche, and we're viable, and I think that we make a contribution to the field, and the fact that there are enough dedicated articles for two dedicated journals says a lot about the field and about ICOS, because I think that, forget the journals, that without ICOS cardio-oncology wouldn't be where it is today.
No, that's certainly true, and I think ICOS wouldn't be where it is today if Steve hadn't come along, so we're very, very happy about that. I will say that, even just a few years ago, when somebody would ask me, okay, I got this study and I've written it up, and where do you think I can send it? I would, have a hard time figuring out where appropriate cardio-oncology manuscripts could go. But now I really have no hesitation whatsoever. I think that there's a lot of good quality manuscripts that are coming from places that maybe they haven't had, decades-long history of publications, but they're trying to contribute to the science and the practice of cardio-oncology. And, they should be given a valid opportunity to have a really high-level publication. And I think there's no doubt in my mind that Cardio-Oncology has done that. And I really congratulate you on all those efforts for those things.
Yes, I'll make an analogy. An analogy to something at Penn. 20-some years ago, we got a large gift and started the Abramson Family Cancer Research Institute and brought in a bunch of new investigators to Penn. But the major thrust of that was that there was money to do new research and unique ideas that could never get published, never get funded by the major organizations. So that to do the legwork and then have data to do a big study really paid off enormously. And honestly, CAR-Ts came out of that. Carl June was one of the people who came, and the original funding for that came from the Institute, and you know where that is today. So the journal is like pretty much the same thing. I mean, recognizing that we were not established, and we were really a place for an outlet for young investigators and young oncologists and writers to begin to find a home for stuff that would never get published in other places. So that's how we started, and that's paid off, because now those people are mature and they send us manuscripts that they might have sent to Jack or to the American Heart, the Journal of the American Heart Association, whatever.
Yeah, I think that it really was sort of a leap of faith that you would put this kind of effort into something and that it would grow in the way that it did. So I really thank you for that, and I think it's really a tremendous asset at this point.
No less a leap of faith that you had in starting cardio-oncology as a subspecialty, right? And getting, going from the Cancer Heart Partnership to ICOS.
Well, I think if you surround yourself with good friends and good people, then things will happen, right?
Right.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Joe. We really appreciate your thoughts and especially your efforts in this area, and we look forward to.
Yeah. So just let me finish by saying that the journal really is the official journal of ICOS, and we really appreciate that, and I think that's helped us a lot also.
Yeah, and we'll put in the show notes a note on where you can submit manuscripts as well. So, thank you. For more information about ICOS, you can go to ic-os.org, where you'll find more information about all of our programs, including our weekly webinars, our board certification exam, and other resources that we know you'll find helpful. Thanks for joining us today, and we hope to hear from you soon.